Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another episode of our Road to Glory career mode with St. Pauli. This is episode number 41, and we start today's episode off with a clash against one of our rivals here away from home as we take on Werder Bremen, coming on the back of our fantastic probably win of the series. You probably call it a win the series. 3-0 victory over Bayern Munich in the last game, in the last episode. We entered the game, 5 wins from our first 6, top of the table with 15 points. And here's a question for you guys straight away today as well. Where do you think we're going to end up finishing come the end of the season? Last year, of course, finishing 5th place, qualifying for the Europa League for season 3. But I think with this squad, with the start we've made, with the depth we have and the improvements we made to the squad as well, I think Champions League should be mandatory for next season. So I think we're going to finish in 3rd place. But where do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below, and also vote in the top right of the screen as well.
Well, the visiting team have been really entertaining us with some great attacking football, and actually they're the top scorers in the league so far.
Yeah, maybe they'd fancy themselves to grab 1 or 2 here, the form that the strikers have been in.
And so as we came into the game here at the Weser Stadion on the back of an international break as well, my side was fully fit and rested and raring to go for this one. And just 11 minutes in, what a fantastic start as well, because El Toro would fire us in front and score once again and make it 1-0 to St. Pauli. Yusuf Poulsen this season has started off. He's our top scorer in the Bundesliga, already 6 goals, but the Bull as well has been a fantastic support striker, already picking up 4 assists, and this was a really nice finish as well to open the scoring and get his 3rd of the year in the Bundesliga too. Right now, El Toro and Yusuf Poulsen, the dynamic duo, are playing so well together, and after last season with David Villa being our top scorer player of the season, I was wondering how we were going to cope without his goals this season. Well, those two have risen to the occasion, and they're answering the question for me. They've been absolutely fantastic as El Toro fired us in front. So 1-0 to St. Pauli. That was it for the first half, and in the second half we almost doubled our lead as well. That header going onto the top of the crossbar there from the corner and behind for a goal kick. But despite our opponents doing basically nothing in this game, we weren't sitting on that 1-goal lead. We were continuing to look for a second to try and wrap up the points. In the second half, after some relentless pressure from St. Pauli, we had so many attempts in a space of like 7 or 8 game minutes, continued to put Wiedwald's goal under immense pressure. We finally found the 2nd goal of the game to surely wrap up the points with 22 minutes to go. And the guy that got the goal, Colin Kadira, the free agent centre-back we signed in the summer with the exciting prospect tag. The teenager came off the bench and scored his 1st goal for St. Pauli as well after replacing Matthias de Ligt. Now, lots of you guys have been saying he needs to be in the first team. You know, Kadira is good enough to be in the first team right now. I agree, I do, but I just don't want to break up our back three because we're scoring a lot of goals. We're the league's highest scorers, or joint highest scorers, as you would have seen. Let's just call us the league's highest scorers. The joint highest scorers, as you would have seen by the sort of the start of the game here, the intro with Martin Tyler and Alan Smith discussing it. But also our back three are responsible for our fantastic defensive work this season, because don't forget, as Leno made another good save there and Harry then hits the bar from this header, we've been really good at the back as well this season, and really we're just on fire both on offense and on defense. So I don't want to break up our back three and put Kadira in for either Sobiech de Ligt or Daniel Rott the Rottweiler, because they're all fantastic. So that's why Kadira is still on the bench for now. He did come off the bench though to wrap the points up. 2-0 the final score. Werder Bremen did have one late chance, but really this game was, I wouldn't say it was done from the moment we scored, but I'd say it was done at half-time. I mean, Werder Bremen barely attacked us in this game at all, and we sort of gingerly strolled to a 2-0 win, and to be honest, I'm quite disappointed we didn't score more than 2 goals. But regardless, another win. It's now 6 from 7. We're the league's highest scorers. We've only conceded 1 goal in the Bundesliga this year as well. Pedro Enrique, one of the players we sold, has got off to a bad start at Hoffenheim as well. We're not showing any signs of missing him either, only letting in 1 goal so far this season. I mean, it's just been a fantastic start to Season 3. When I asked you guys to start the episode where you think we'll finish, I mean, let's be honest here. I know it's early days, but let's be honest. I mean, top 4, it should be achievable. With this side, with our depth, this should be achievable. And in the Europa League as well, it's been a good start as well, lest we forget. Right now sitting top of the group with 6 points, 3 points clear of both Benfica and Noordsjælland, who we beat in match day 1. And so as we take on Benfica in Lisbon for the first and only European game today, and the second of 4 games in today's episode, we were going in search of our 3rd straight win in the Europa League. And coming into this group, I said it wasn't going to be easy. You know, Benfica and Olympiacos, the Portuguese and the Greek side, they're going to be tough. Noordsjælland, I think, will finish bottom of the group. I still think that, despite the fact they're in 3rd place. But it's been a brilliant start for us in Europe as well as the league. We're not showing signs of slowing down just because we've got an extra competition to play in this season. We're responding to that in a positive way. We're welcoming the challenge and playing so well. So Benfica, the second game of today's episode, but coming into the game, I did make changes as per normal. And 18 minutes in, we did surrender the first chance of the game. Leno making a really good save and then shoveling that cross shot behind for a corner. But from the corner, Colin Kadira, who scored after coming off the bench in that last game in Bremen, was rewarded with a start in this game here in Portugal. And I'm so glad I started him too, because from the corner he controlled it, ran forward, gave it to Davy Selke. Selke ran through and found the back of the net as the former RB Leipzig striker would open the scoring 21 minutes in. And that goal as well was fantastic. It was only two players involved, both Kadira and Selke, but we stormed forward and literally no Benfica player was able to catch up with us. We are so quick on the counter, and if you remember right at the start of the series, I said this is the way we're going to play. Fast, attack-minded football whilst regularly counter-attacking. That was so quick. We were up the other end of the pitch so quickly there as we made it 1-0, and in the 28th minute we should have made it 2-0 as well. Totally messed up here with Davy Selke. Took the ball way too far to the right-hand side after trying to round Edison, and eventually Kaka's shot was well saved, and it was still 1-0. But in the 39th minute though, Benfica would find an equalising goal through the Spanish left-back Ronaldo, and this was really frustrating because, you know, you saw just a moment ago the counter-attack. That's the way we play with St. Pauli, getting the ball forward as quickly as possible. I tried to do that from this corner as well, look for a bit of deja vu and score our second goal just before the break. Tried to throw it out with Leno, but completely gave it away, trying to get it to Poulsen. Eventually it came to the former Barcelona fullback, and it was a brilliant finish on the half volley. Leno started the season off so well, being one of our players of the year so far, but he was never getting to that, right in the bottom corner, and it was Benfica 1, St. Pauli 1. So the Portuguese side back on level terms going into the break, and in the second half there weren't really too many chances to report whatsoever. With 11 minutes to go, Benfica had a great chance to get themselves in front for the first time in the game, which they would do as well. Zé Gomes receiving the ball, smashing it into the bottom corner. Once again, Leno beat him for the second time in the game. First time this season he's let in more than once in a single game, but I couldn't really fault him for either of the goals. The first one was my stupid mistake, trying to throw it out too quickly, and Poulsen wasn't ready for it. The second goal, just a brilliant finish right into the bottom corner from the number 70, and Benfica had their lead as they turned the game on its head, and they would have made it 3-1 in stoppage time as well. Mitroglou crossing the ball into the centre, and the header was well saved by Leno there, preventing the scoreline from becoming even worse, but unfortunately it didn't change the result. Final score, Benfica 2, St. Pauli 1, and for the first time in Europe we taste defeat. Benfica now leapfrog us, go top of the group as well, and I must say I was really disappointed about this defeat as well, because I thought we played just as good as our opponents. But I always say this, I'm never biased, if you don't take your chances you will get punished, and simply put, we weren't clinical enough, and that's why we tasted defeat. So yeah, a disappointing loss that one, but again, it does show this group is going to be very tight, I'm sure, come the end of 6 games. We're now halfway through it in second place on that head-to-head record, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tight. We've got 6 points, Benfica got 6 points, and then Olympiacos and Noord-Zeeland both have 3 points as well. You'll see confirmation of the final group table come the end of the episode, but it's going to be a tight, tough group, and believe me, we may have got to a good start, but there is no guarantee we're even going to qualify for the knockout stages. Still, for the third of 4 games today, we would return home back to the Bundesliga and back to Hamburg to host Mainz here at the Millantor in our first home game of today's episode. Last time we were playing in front of our home fans, of course, the fantastic 3-0 victory, so I was looking forward to this game and hoping for another big win here in front of our fans. However, just 15 minutes in, Mainz had the first chance of the game. Was Tunali skipping around Tony Valena down the right-hand side. Eventually, he drilled the ball into the centre and picked out Robin Quaison. Remember him? The guy that scored here last season in this exact fixture to put Mainz in front. That goal was just before half-time last season, but this one just 16 minutes in, and I have to say I was totally guilty of some terrible positioning in the centre for this one, but mainly because right at the start of that attack, I was charging out of position with Sobiech, the captain, right up at the halfway line, and he couldn't get back on time to really set himself in the area. In the 45th minute, Leno had to do his best man Neuer impression there to make a really big interception interception to prevent Mainz from making it 2-0 just before the break. And in the second half, once again, Mainz looking strong. 9 minutes after the restart, we had to clear a corner off the line, but from that we broke. Rodolfo beat the last man. El Toro tried to storm through one-on-one, was eventually caught up, but it was no problem for him as he took it round the last defender with the McGeady spin, and then a fantastic finesse shot into the top corner, found the back of the net, and we had our equaliser through the ball, and once again it came from a counter from our opposition corner. I mean, we are the fastest counter-attack in the land, man. We're just too quick. Every single time we go forward, we use our pace, we get ourselves through, and we also have a great chance of finding the back of the net. That's exactly what happened here. El Toro isn't the quickest, but it was a brilliant turn on the halfway line to beat his man, then an even better turn inside the area when the defender got back with the McGeady spin, and how about that for a finish from the ball as well. Yusuf Poulsen already 6 goals in the Bundesliga, El Toro's got 4, combining for 10 our strike duo already. These two, the dynamic duo, the tall guys as I called them, which is a terrible nickname, have been absolutely fantastic, and it's now 2-2 in the league for El Toro as well. So St. Pauli won, Mainz won, we are back on level terms. We tried to do what Benfica did to us though in midweek and turn the game on its head. Yusuf Poulsen almost won the game late on there, but the goalkeeper made a very good save and turned it behind for a corner. And it was how the game would finish as well. Final score, St. Pauli 1, Mainz 1. So sadly, it is 2 games without a win in all competitions. First time we've failed to get back to winning ways on the back of not getting the win this season. And it's also only the 2nd time this year in the league where we slipped up as well. We do still stay top of the table ahead of Schalke despite their victory over Leipzig away in Leipzig. But it's still disappointing to drop 2 points at home, because if we do want to qualify for the Champions League for Season 4, you can't drop points at home to Mainz. I mean, they're not a bad team or anything, but, you know, we're at home. The home's supposed to be the fortress like it was in Season 1. Yeah, we didn't lose. We got back on level terms. That's great, but we should have won that game. No doubt about it. But for the 4th and final game of today's episode here, we will take on Hoffenheim away from home, who narrowly avoided relegation after a very poor season last year in Season 2. But this was in the Deutsche Pokal, a few days after that draw against Mainz, going away from home to take them on, and I decided to field a completely weakened side for this game as well, as you would expect. Now, of course, last season, we did reach the Deutsche Pokal final before losing to Dortmund in the final. Thomas Tuchel orchestrating a 2-0 victory over us at the Olympiastadion in Berlin. But coming into this game, it's the round of 32 stage. The board don't care about the cup. It's always the round of 32 stage, the objectives they give us. So I thought this is the time really to play fringe players, reserve players, kids, see what they can do. There were starts for players like Hohu and Newman as well, giving those 2 players their first appearances in a St. Pauli shirt, seeing what they could do. Justin Bilo making his first appearance for the club as well this season. But really, the first half, it was all about Hoffenheim. They were far better than us. We didn't really do anything. In the second half, we did have one chance though. A Mang found Graf, an academy graduate, through towards Zhang Yuning, our Chinese striker, who fired this shot just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. But other than that one shot, we weren't really able to create too many chances in this game, and I feel like chemistry is one of the reasons why. Now, even though we're rotating a lot of our players this season, I have a lot of experience with most of the players I'm using, but coming into this game, the first 11 I picked, I mean, there were just players there who, like I said, hadn't played for the club before. There was just a lineup which I'd never been familiar with. I'd never tried this set of 11 players, and I'm sure they'll never be on the pitch again together at any one point. And because of that, I was out of sync in this game, totally out of sync, not able to play the St. Pauli way. And eventually we gave away a penalty with just over 20 minutes to go through Tylo Kehrer. I didn't even see where the foul was. It happened so quickly. There were so many bodies in the area after the clear corner. I wasn't able to see where the foul was. But the referee gave a penalty, wasn't going to complain. I'm sure it was the right decision. And with 90 minutes to go, Kramaric, the Croatian striker, would stand up and take it. Bilo told him where he was going, so Kramaric decided to go the other way, sent Bilo the wrong way, put the ball into the bottom corner, and the former Leicester City striker opened the scoring and also sent Hoffenheim through to the round of 16. Because the game finished directly after that, no more chances. Hoffenheim 1, St. Pauli 0. They get the win, and we exit the Deutsche Pokal at the first round of entering in the round of 32 stage. But to be honest, I don't really care that much at all. We may have some decent depth this season, and we may have got to the final last year, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Simple as that. We're top of the Bundesliga right now. We're only behind Benfica in the Europa League group stage on the head-to-head record. We don't need to worry about a third competition. Yes, we reached the final last year, but this is our lowest priority, and I'm totally fine exiting it. We could do without the competition, really, with so many games coming this season due to us playing in Europe this year. so I don't mind exiting the competition. We fielded a weakened team, and I'm totally fine leaving at around the 32 stage. But it is worth noting, though, it's now no wins in 3 games in all competitions. You know, losing to Benfica, then drawing against Mainz in the Bundesliga, and then losing to Hoffenheim in the Cup as well. 3 different competitions, 0 wins, 2 defeats. That's a little bit worrying for a side that started off so well this year. We need to get back on the winning wagon. I mean, simple as that, man. Like, you know, every team, every season will go through a rough patch. This is our early season rough patch. 3 games without a win. I'm confident we'll get back to winning ways soon. But it needs to be sooner rather than later and ASAP, because the one thing we can't afford to do is let this mini slump turn into anything worse than that and anything bigger than that. But still, following the game regardless, we had an academy update there. You can see that defensive midfielder looked very, very good indeed. Just 15 years old, 90 to 94 potential. We'll certainly keep our eyes on him. Look at the squad report as well. You can see how the players are currently getting on. Most players developing really, really nicely, other than Kaka and also Philip Kala as well, the 30, what is he now, 32 years old, the right back. I don't even know why I gave a contract to. But some players looking pretty decent. Poulsen already up a rating, Kadira up a couple of ratings as well. Most players looking pretty decent, and of course what we really want to see right now is how we're getting on in the league and Europe as well. Right now, top of the table in the Bundesliga, ahead of Schalke right now by 4 goals, in the Europa League 2, only behind Benfica, but still having the same amount of points. We've had a good start in the league in Europe, no wins in our last 3 in all competitions, but don't let that distract you from our very encouraging start. It's been a really, really great beginning, and long may it continue, and hopefully in the next episode we'll get straight back on the winning wagon as well. But that will end today's episode of our Road to Glory career mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, then please do leave a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of our RTG with St. Pauli very soon.